Hey, everyone. Yes, we're live. Just checking out the feed and getting ready, practicing, I guess, for this weekend when we plan to go live and do Ask Me Anything. That reminds me, I need to turn my phone off if I can find it. Who knows where it is? I don't know if anyone's going to be joining us or not, but I'm just going to continue as if you are. I'm not doing much. I'm getting my makeup on. Put in a comment down at the bottom when you show up, and I'm going to catch it. I'm moving stuff around here. The reason for this is, and I may have to stop because, the application of makeup's kind of, critical. And the studio is not finished. As you can see, hopefully it will be much more pretty soon as things come in. But I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Trying to get everything around here. Hey, how are you? How's it going? ETC3? I was just going to talk about not really motorcycles. Hey, Steve, I hope you're doing better. Your foot looked pretty ouch. But I wanted to talk, guys. I'm practice for Saturday because we're going to have like an Ask Me Anything sort of thing. And I know with my life that opens the doors, but it will be moderated. Believe me. I'm doing okay. But, the reason I went live was these comments that I've been getting. And everyone, you expect to get hate comments, right? I mean, that's just part of being out there in the public. You expect it. It's going to show up. It's going to be there. But a lot of the ones that I've been getting seem to be more people lashing out. Oh, gosh, Steve, I am so glad. And I got to ask, is it a genetic thing or was that a military thing? Is it something I'm going to have to worry about? And I'm glad you're doing better. And I hope your parents are doing great. Anyway, can you guys hear me okay? I've got my new mic, my Blue Yeti. Hopefully it's set up correctly. I guess you can if you're answering my questions. Blonde. How did you like the new Creed we did? I haven't been able to see it, and that's kind of part of what's going on. It's been nutso, guys. It's been crazy. I feel like a prisoner in my own house. I can't do anything. And now with the rain, and I'm worried about my son out there, and then I get these comments, and I know that these are from people that are just random people that I don't know, and it shouldn't bother me. But what bothers me is the way they're commenting, and it seems like they've lost hope, if that makes sense. And that's something that really disturbs me. I have this woman, and I usually, when I get a hateful comment, I do have it moderated. But, I've gotten a lot of hate on my Harley stuff. Fine, go away. If you want to, I don't want to hear your hate. And if it's coming from something, a point of that, I don't care. But I got a comment, and this person kept commenting and kept commenting and kept commenting. And I just got the feeling that it was being commented because she had nothing really in her life and she felt hopeless. And when I get comments like that, I try to diffuse them and say something like, I hope you find something good in your day to day. I hope something comes along to make you smile, stuff like that. And she kept continuing with this barrage of comments. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this or not, but in one of them, at the end of it, I said something, and now I'm having a hard time finding it. about that I really hope that she found something to bring her some joy. And I think that struck a nerve because she said, Terry, do you really want me to have joy, or are you lying? Yeah, Steve, that's true. And the anonymity of sitting behind a computer screen seems to bring that out, and it's so much easier. It's sort of like road rage, I think. Here you are in your car and you feel like you're this big person, and even more so behind a computer screen. If you don't get that bid on eBay, you can take it out on everybody else around you. But I know I'm going to get hate, and there are several people I know that have been blocked from my channel because of that. But people like this that are lashing out and making these comments that really have nothing to do with anything, they're hurting. And that hurts me, I think, because I have. Did you lose a bid on eBay? I haven't been on eBay in so long. But that really hurts me when people have something and they feel so hopeless. I know, because I've been there. I am there. I'm stuck in this house. It's a huge house, but it's raining. I can't ride my motorcycle. I can't go anywhere except to get a cupcake, and then I get shit from that. My gosh, people, get over this whole damn virus mask thing already. But it hurts me that people have so little joy that they feel they have to attack someone else. Oh, you had a bad experience. Oh my gosh, I'll be looking forward to that, eBay. Make sure you alert me. I mean, eBay, that video, make sure you alert me. And this is kind of a practice run, because Saturday we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. And I'm like, do you really want to open that door, Terry, to ask me anything? Well, I'll have a moderator, and I've got certain phrases and words blocked, so it won't show up. So that'll be good. But, I don't know, it goes back I don't know if a lot of you know or not, but I raised 8 kids. 6 of those were adopted. And with the adoption, some of them were older, and they came with a lot of baggage, a lot of problems. And I see that in some of these comments. And when this woman said, if you, do you really want me to find joy, or are you lying? Well, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, been there, done that when I was like 20 years younger. And what does it get you? It gets you nowhere. I just hurt for these people. And Steve, I was freaking hurting for you when I saw that foot. Oh my gosh. Anything? Well, within limits. Within limits. But yeah, pretty much anything. I'm an open book. I'm pretty transparent with most things. Or people think I am. I guess sometimes I'm just good at pretending. ETC, what do I call you? Because it's, as you know, from my comment on one of your videos, I don't know what to call you. Just ETC. I feel like it's like, it reminds me of E.T. and his little, alien fingers. Steve, have you ever seen any aliens when you're out? You probably can't talk because you're probably like super classified or something. But I was just wondering. Thomas. Okay, cool, Thomas. That's a cool name. That's my brother-in-law's name. Just a new cartilage implant. The Navy was rough on my bones and joints. Okay, so this is why I asked Steve. Not that any of you guys want to know, but I've been having trouble with, and it's on the different foot, with a toe. And when I saw that, Steve, my first thought was, is this a genetic thing? Do I need to have that checked out or something? I bet it was rough. Are you going back to work anytime soon? Went to Area 51, didn't see any aliens. That's kind of a wide open comment. I could get political on that, but I won't. Did you ask for their papers? Oh, you didn't see any, so okay. December. Oh, last December you were there. After my mom died, I took 2 of my kids. I don't know. You guys don't know a whole lot about me because this is relatively new. My mom was killed in 2006 by physician negligence. And I flew 2 of my kids down with me to pick up some things, and we rode back up. And I had a kid pretty much, oh, you're going back to work in December. Oh, good. Is it good? Are you enjoying civilian life? This is my cousin, who I haven't seen since he was, gosh, Steve, you must have been like 5 or 6 the last time I saw you. Hey, Brian, passive-aggressive sheeple have a tendency to attack. Yeah, they do. They really do. But, you know, some of the pain I'm seeing or I'm sensing, and I guess that's what helped lead into adopting so many kids, is the pain. And I sort of put what was going to happen to my family on the back burner, which, Brian, you saw what happened. You saw how I broke. It wasn't nice. It wasn't pretty. A lot of people suffered because I couldn't take what was going on. And it was hard. But we went to I took 2 of my kids, Michael and Nikki, the ones that live here now, to Area 51. I'm going to put some makeup on you guys while I'm talking to you, if that's okay. And my son was like totally freaked out. He kept watching the monitor, or the gasoline gauge. I have, Brian, I have healed a lot since then. I look back on that time, and I can tell you guys about that. It's something I think, I know that I broke, and I know why I broke. Brian knows a lot more than a lot of you do. But I destroyed my family. I destroyed myself, or I was destroyed. And in that, I ran. And when I ran, I destroyed a lot of other things. And in that time, I've learned a lot. Steve, thanks for bringing up the Mustang. That was the ugliest year for Mustang in the history of Mustangs. It was 1979. So did I see you then? I left shortly after. I don't remember that at all. But maybe I'm just trying to block out those horrible years. I'm glad you saw my parents. Oh, briefly. I really want to catch up with you. So where are you living? In Texas? Looking better than a 75 Mustang. Brian, the 79 was horrible. And my dad had a Governor on it. And I'll never forget, he had my brother ride with me on one side, taking notes of my speed. And oh my gosh, that just pissed me off so bad. My brother was a little shit. Pretty much still is. Hot Springs with your girlfriend. Hey, that's cool. You run into the Clintons? Was that a bad topic? I'm really happy for you, Steve. I would love to get together with you guys, you and your mom and dad. I miss David so much. And David was my hero when I was a kid. I was always watching. David is my uncle who was in Vietnam. And I remember being a little girl and it was on the news. I would watch it every night and I was always looking for my Uncle David. And I am so... It's going to get me crying here, but I really want to see David and Sandy. You traded it for a 2020. Those are looking pretty sweet. Those are looking pretty sweet. My neighbor has one. I'm loving it. I'm looking at a new car right now too. And we'll see how it comes along. If you're in the Portland area, or if you're in an area where Lithia Motors is a corporation and owns a car dealer, stay the hell away from them. Or check out their complaints before you go. They're horrible. Hey, Cameron. I wish I could stay on, girlfriend. Got a telecom. That's cool. Love the t-shirt. That's right. Back the blue. Back the blue. I'm getting Portland. I could get shot in Portland for wearing this shirt. Right, Brian? I'd need a bait and like 100 bikers around me so I wouldn't get shot wearing back the police. They don't back the police here. They just throw them out to the wolves with, purple and pink hair and a Game Boy. Steve, DM me your phone number. I don't have it. Do I need to come down there? They did disarm them. Our government here in Portland they pretty much handcuffed the police so nothing could be done about the riots. I don't know if they're still going on or not because I don't watch TV, but Portland will never recover from what was done to it willingly and encouraged by the government. It was absolutely appalling. Yeah, they have been doing it for years now. Portland's disgusting. I want out of here. I hate this place. I absolutely hate it. I would love to go to, let's see. Brian's good. This is going to raise like huge antenna on Brian. I'd love to go to Thailand or Cambodia, maybe Belize, Colombia, Venezuela. Venezuela's stable now, I hear. Costa Rica. I want out of the States. How bad is that for a Texan girl to say? I'd love to move back to Texas. No, I wouldn't. I just want the food. I want real Tex-Mex, Whataburger, and believe it or not, Steve, ponchos. I don't know why, but I like raising that little flag and getting some fresh sopapillas. Yeah, Steve, DM me your number, please, and I'll give you a call. Thomas, you know about ponchos? Okay, here's a poncho story. I was born in West Texas, and we moved to the Dallas area when I was about 6 years old. My dad became a corporate pilot. He worked for LTV at first, and so we moved to that area. And my parents would take us there because when I was a kid, an adult it was all you can eat for $1.29, and kids were like 39 cents. So our parents would take us to to ponchos a lot because we were like broke ass poor before my dad became a pilot. And I remember sitting there and my mother would ask my dad if he was going to order something else. Steve's going to know this because I'm sure it's a lot like David. They have the same sense of humor, Steve. I love it. So my mom would ask my dad, are you going to order anything else? And my dad said, yeah, I think I'm going to get this and this and this. So you raise the little flag at Poncho so the people come by, and whatever. And my mother would order like a full plate of food. And they'd look at my dad and say, and what can I get for you, sir? Oh, I think I'll have a glass of water. Yeah. It was fun times riding home from then. Okay, Steve, thank you. When's a good time to call? Your time, if you're in Arkansas. Maybe later today? Yeah, the sopapillas, my gosh, they're fresh, and you put that butter and honey in them. We used to skip school and go to Ponchos. That's how much of a rebel kid I was. I think I saved that all up to my late 40s and early 50s. Brian, no comment. Okay. Because you're off work right now. So the studio's coming along. You can see I've got like 3 whole pictures hung up on the wall. But this thing is gigantic. It's 21 by 21. It was my first daughter's. I even hate saying that word, and some of you know why. Bedroom. And this room has seen so many girls. And it's great. I was in a 10 by 10 room, and this having all of this space, it's going to come together great. We're going to get some great videos, hopefully. But I want to ride, and it's rainy, and it's so dangerous here in Portland to ride this time of year because of the wet leaves. And you cannot. Okay, Steve, I'm going to tell you this story because you know how badass one of my brothers pretends to act. Or maybe you don't. He's with an MC. And they think they're bad. Well, they came up here and we had my bike, which was white and pink. I had Jeff's bike, which is a Road King. And then I had my Sporty at the time still. So my Mr. Badass brother got on one of the bikes and Jeff just took him through everywhere. And there are every turn is a blind turn. You have no idea what's around the corner. And in Texas, you can see from Dallas to Fort Worth when you're like 80 miles away, straight in the middle. You can see all the way around. It's just flat. You see, there are no blind turns there. And my brothers got back from that ride, and I've only ridden in the Pacific Northwest. I haven't ridden down there. So my brothers got back from that ride, and my brother that thinks he's like really a badass said, oh my gosh, I was scared to death. I didn't know if I was going to live. I'm like, yeah, you're really a badass, dude. It's not all finished yet, Brian. I still have some things to do. You're seeing my stuff there on the, that's all I have. That's all I have up there. That's me and Jeff there in the middle. That's about it. There's Jeff down there on the floor. Right there. I need more stuff in here. And here I am, an interior designer. I can't even pull my own studio together. That pretty much says I suck. I don't like that. Yeah. Right, Steve? You know what was funny? After Mom died, and I flew Michael and Nikki down there to ride back up to the Northwest with me because that is a long ride from Texas to Oregon. And we brought her Jaguar back. We bought it from my dad. My dad couldn't sell it to a stranger. And he couldn't stand to have it in the garage. So I bought the Jaguar from my dad. And I remember Michael and Nikki kept saying, are we out of Texas yet? Are we out of Texas yet? Said, no, it's going to be like 18 more days before we're out of Texas. Just go through your old pics. You'll find some amazing images. Straight line from Big Spring to Andrews. Yeah, I was born in Big Spring. Then I moved to Midland. Our first real form of transportation, my dad had an airplane. I can't remember what it was now. He went in with 6 other guys, and I was born in 1962. So they did this. They went in and bought an airplane collectively. And so we would fly from Midland to Big Spring to see my grandmother. Oh, you're in Abilene. Oh my gosh. The Jaguar at the time, no, it wasn't an E. It was their top model at the time. I think it was an S. Do you remember my blue Jag? Don't pay any attention to the negative comments, just nuts. You know, that's what I think too, but this one woman, she really got to me when she said, And I'm talking to Will to Power when she said, "Are you lying, or do you really want me to find joy?" You know, I've lived without joy, and I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. As a matter of fact, and I don't care which politics are, and I'll probably get in trouble here, but Joe Biden and the problems he's having and the way people are parading him around, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. And that's coming from a die-hard Republican. Amarillo? Oh my gosh. San Antonio. Okay, New Braunfels. I just saw they're selling, there's some area in New Braunfels that they're selling acreage from like 1 acre up to 14-acre parcels. And I'm thinking about doing that. The only problem is I have a brother that lives there, and I really don't want to be near that situation. But San Antonio and the Riverwalk, oh my gosh, Amarillo, oh, yes, I am a Texan, and it's really funny. I never really had much of an accent because my dad was on us all the time to enunciate and to speak correctly. So I really never had much of an accent, but my husband, when we first moved here, sounded like Mr. Haney. If you guys know if you can remember who that is. You guys are all, hey, John from Australia, what time is it there? You have your sunglasses on, so I'm thinking it must be day. I don't know. That's everywhere around here. What, Thomas? What's all around there? Are they selling property? Is it a good price? To give you an idea, our neighbor's daughter just bought her first home. It's around 900 square feet on a 0 lot line, and they paid $450,000 for it. Yeah. I don't know why people want to live in this stupid ass state. It's ridiculous. I hate it. But you guys know that. It's 9 a.m. Friday morning. You're in the future. 9 a.m. Friday morning. What time is it here? Around 3, I guess, maybe. You know what's really funny? I never wanted to go to Australia because it's like you keep hearing it's the most deadly planet, or not planet, the most deadly continent on the planet. So I've always had this huge fear of Australia. But I've picked up so many Australian followers, and you guys are making me want to come down there. You guys are like really cool. I've got a message held for review. I wonder what that's for. Who knows? I'm probably not going to be able to get it on my laptop here. Oh, I can do that. I can do that, Thomas. Right, Steve? And the house is probably amazing. It's probably not. There's an area near us, and we live in a pretty upscale neighborhood, but we didn't know it when we moved here. We only paid $50,000 for our lot, and we're on 1/3 of an acre, and our house is about 5,000 square feet. And there's a place around here called Felony Flats, and those houses are going for $500,000. It's pretty sad. Brian, we should do that. We should go see John. Pay no attention to the haters. That's right. Okay, thanks, High Flyer. Have a really good day, and thanks for joining in for a little bit. I appreciate it. Hamid, hi. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. You know what? Talking to real people makes such a huge difference in my day because I have a German Shepherd and a Yorkie. Neither of them bark. They don't do anything. My husband comes home, goes to bed, and my kids go and watch Netflix. And I'm like, Okay, I don't have a mask. I can't wear a mask. Can't do anything. Did you really, Steve? Did you like it? You know, Brian, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I'd be scared. I've seen those kangaroos are like really angry animals, though. And those black snakes, that scares me. Did you really, Steve? What did you love about it? San Antonio to Gainesville, Florida in 24 hours? You had the pedal to the metal. Were you on a bike or were you in a car? Oh, so it's the same here, John, as with the deer and the elk and all of that. Hey, Tekken Moto, how are you? Fear snakes are worse. You know, growing up or being born, I guess, in Big Spring, Texas, on my grandmother's farm, it's where I kind of grew up. Snakes and poisonous spiders are everywhere, and they would let us run around without shoes on. I have two things that scare me. My two fears are because being born in Texas, tornadoes and snakes. Thomas, when are you leaving? That would be great because I want out of here. Takamoto, I'm glad you're doing well. You guys are making me smile. I've had a really hard couple of days. I mean, I haven't even been out of bed. I'm putting makeup on. Nothing. I can't stand snakes. When we first moved to Washington, we moved to Washington in 1990. And my grandmother on her farm, she was walking from the bedroom into the kitchen, and you had to go through the dining room to get there. And she said she heard this hissing noise, and she didn't know what it was. And this isn't out in West Texas. She didn't know what it was. She thought something with the water or a gas line or something. She walked back through. She kept going back and forth and hearing this noise. And then she stopped, turned on the light, and it was this huge ass rattlesnake. So she went and got some sort of shotgun and just destroyed the dining room. My dad laughed about it for years. Ugh, those things creep me out. But I stepped in a nest of snakes, and there must have been 10 million of them, babies, and they were all, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a panic attack. Need some Valium, thanks for that memory. Ahmed, thank you. I appreciate that. It's called having a great cosmetic surgeon. Actually, he's not a surgeon, but we had more people wanting to take us out than we had sailors on the ship. There was a line on the pier of people. You know, Steve, it seems to me from what I've not really had a lot of experience with people from Australia until this whole controversy with $1 Million Bogan started up. And the Australians, they're so friendly and outgoing and gregarious. And they're just like, have this sense of adventure. And I don't know if they're all like that or just the ones that have been showing up, but your comment is awesome. I'm really wondering what this hidden comment is. Where did it go? You're in Australia too, David? So, John, is that true what Steve said? Is that how you guys are? That's cool because here in Portland, they just turn around and go the other way. Where's that hidden comment? I don't know if I unhide it. Oh, jeez. It's a new computer and this mouse pad, this tracking pad's not working. Thomas, I hid your comment about the iron butt. My gosh, that's ridiculous. Oh, really? But we don't have an accent. Navy sailors are treated very well in Australia. That's kind of interesting. The military in general is treated like crap in America, as are the police force, and it's really a pretty discouraging thing. It's very discouraging. Australians are very friendly. They make me and my family welcome when we first immigrated here. Where are you originally from, John? I know you told me, but I've forgotten. Ahmed, oh, you've been in Portland in 1993, probably when things were much more civil here. It is a hellhole now. Oh, the UK. I want to get out and travel so badly. And now that I have no kids, I've got the animals to watch out for, but I've got my passport ready to go. Ahmed, what did you think about Portland back then? Oh, you liked it. That's about, no, I moved to Portland in 1996 and I loved it. It was quirky, but it was fun and it was friendly and it was pretty safe. It's not that way today. It's not that way today at all. Brisbane. You know, my son, I have a son that's very adventurous and he always wanted to move to, let me turn this light. Sorry, my face. He always wanted to go to Australia. Until he found out there were pygmies. And he's afraid of little people. So he changed his mind, never went. But I have a son now that watches these guys like, is it called 44 or something? These guys in Australia, and they climb this tower and throw things off of it. It's on YouTube. He loves it. I don't know what they're called. Agree, Brian. I totally 100% agree. Portland is, you know, I've started watching this girl, and I think more Americans should watch her. I don't know her name, but if you look up North Korean woman defector, she's in her early 20s, and she's telling what communism and living under the dictatorship of that little kid with the funny haircut, what it's like there. And Americans have this idealized thing in their head, I think, of what socialism is. I think you need to stick them in North Korea for a while and let them see if they're still going to want socialism when they come out. Oh, you know who they are, Brian? Michael. Have you met Michael? He loves that show. I'll hear him laughing, and it is so funny. But he's like paying for a subscription to the YouTube channel. He has all these shirts. He just loves it. But they seem like they have a lot of fun. Oh, you were in school. Ahmed, where'd you go to school in Seattle? Americans are the best. Americans kind of suck pretty much these days. Some of us are pretty cool. I have, Brian, I have. Okay, so a younger me, dude, we're going to have some words next time I see you. It's harder. I didn't think it would be, it's not that bad, but it's really weird to think that I'm 58 years old and my grandmother was 3 years younger than me when she died. That's kind of a kick in the gut, kind of weird. Oh, South Seattle Community College. Pretty cool. Really, Steve? All day long? You know, kangaroos scare me to death. And don't they have like black mambas or something there too? They've got some weird creatures. I guess we do too, and they're called Oregonians. Watch my whole channel be shut down because I'm dissing Oregon so much. But it's the most ridiculous state in the whole country, I think. Outback Outlaw, hey! You? Okay. I was watching that video of yours and you had like the foil up on your head. You're talking about the little bitty dog and the police coming in through the windows. You had me dying. You had me in tears. I was laughing so hard. And everyone, because that doesn't happen that often, everyone in the house came and said, Mom, what's going on? What's going on? I said, you got to watch this guy. This is funny. You know, Steve, I've really thought about it. My last, after Mom was killed and I was there like between 1 and 3 weeks a month for those last 13 months of my dad's life. And I know that was, 11 years ago now. It's changed so much and the traffic scares me to death. I'd have to find a place like around New Braunfels or someplace like that where I'm not around Dallas or Fort Worth, where I wouldn't have to ride 2 hours to be able to ride my motorcycle. Because that's sort of the way it seemed to me. And people there are crazy drivers. And Portland, it has been named the worst driving in the United States. But Dallas scares me. Hey, Martin. Wait, Martin, this is a stupid out of the blue question. Do they cook ostriches there? Yeah, San Marcos would be good. I guess the prices must still be good there. And the hill country is amazing to ride. Oh, I would love to. But my kid was telling me he saw this video of these people carrying this ostrich and they were going to barbecue it. Is that for real? Or was he just being my dad? Oh, you did, Ahmed? We only have emu. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what he was talking about. Well, my kids are kind of sheltered in a suburban area. I don't even take them to the damn zoo. So they don't know an ostrich from an emu, and I don't know a llama from an alpaca. So there you go. It's good. Yeah, I know where San Marcos is. My niece went to school there, I think. And you know what I love about that area, Steve, is floating on the river. My niece and nephew took me to the river, and I was amazed because on rivers here, you cannot have alcohol of any kind. You have to have a whistle or they won't let you in the water. I mean, I know it's safety and everything. You get in the water in your inner tube, and then you have an inner tube for your beer. People are just floating down the river, having the best time. I love it. Really, Steve? Man, you're more adventurous than I am. I eat pretty much a lot of stuff that I've heard of, but ostrich and wildebeest and boar, I might eat boar. It is, Brian. Oregon's much worse. It's much worse here. Steve, oh my gosh, the river walk. I want to go so bad. It's so beautiful. And I do miss Texas. I don't miss cockroaches. We don't have cockroaches here. No, I haven't seen one in 30 years since I've lived in the Northwest. No cockroaches. We don't have crickets. We don't have poisonous snakes. I haven't seen any. Brian, do we have poisonous spiders here? What river are you floating on, Brian? The rivers here are so dangerous. That's what I thought. On the east side of the Cascades, that's where all the deadly stuff is. Except on this side of the Cascade, the deadly stuff is the government. Handcuffing police. I'm going to skip political here. I shouldn't do that. That's a no-no. Steve, you know what? One of our best friends retired from the Navy. And that's pretty much what he said. He was stationed in Honolulu for most of his time, which is where you were, right? Rivers on the Olympic Peninsula. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's like here we have, the Willamette River. I'm not getting in that river because there are like 8-headed fish in that river. And the Columbia's just scary. And the Clackamas River will kill you. Yeah, we try to go when the Marine Shore Patrol's not around. If we want to float the river, I float the river with my kids here. And the route that we took is a 4-hour route. And then I told my husband, I said, you really need to come. I think you'd enjoy this. You just float the river. You just sit back in your inner tube and you float the river. Okay, I made a fatal mistake. I put oars or paddles or whatever the hell they're called, just in case we got stuck. He took that as this was an Olympic sport. We made a 4-hour float the river in about 15 minutes. Oh my God. That's what I thought, Steve. The first time I went to Pearl Harbor, there was so much history that I didn't know, and I'm a history major. And that was such an emotional experience. It was hard. Just on the hateful comments, I have all comments on review, so I choose what gets on my channel. Yeah, they do. There are a lot of hateful people out there, but I had just noticed there are some that aren't like the trolls that just sit behind their computer screen to say, they're sitting there, in my opinion, collecting unemployment, all pissed off at everyone because, I don't know, they can't find their pacifier. And, but some of these that come through have really gotten me to, they've really stirred me as to how joyless and unhappy some people are. And that's really hard. That's hard for me. It's really hard. It's hard for me. Brian, my cousin's talking to you. When he was on shore patrol, the Marines hated when they picked up their... Steve, that's funny. That's funny. Thomas, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. But some of these people I hurt for. You know, like I said, I have some kids that have, most of my kids have mental issues. Being adopted at older ages, you don't realize how damaged these kids are until you bring them into your home and they really destroy everything. There's no turning them around. And my son that's on the streets in Portland, 27 years old, paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar, and autism, is the sweetest, most wonderful boy. And we got him at birth. And I can say that is the most guilt I feel as a parent of being so agitated with him when he was younger, but we didn't know, because we didn't know his birth mother's history, what was in store. And boy, what I would do to have those days back. JG, thank you. Welcome. I hope you subscribe and come back Saturday. We need a time, guys, because we're going to do the Ask Me Anything, which kind of freaks me out, but I'll tell you anything you want to know pretty much, unless it's just totally out of line. See, I bet. Brian, what branch of the service were you in? Oh, JG, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Navy. So you have something in common with my cousin. Tin Can Sailor here. Brian, for you guys that don't know my friend Brian, Brian and I go back a ways. And if it's not in years, it's in history and in empathy and support. He is one of the most genuine people I have ever met in my life. JG, thank you. You saw my son's fall. Oh my gosh. All right. So my son, he was adopted at birth, and he has a genetic disorder that's called Klinefelter syndrome, which sort of affects his social skills sometimes, and it's hard for him to just get out there, but he's doing a lot better. And his foot has finally healed. The day after we got into California, that morning we went to the beach, first time on the beach, and the boy breaks his foot. I felt like a terrible mom. Although I wasn't the one that climbed up the stupid rock and jumped off. Foil hat failure here. Martin, you are hilarious. You are freaking hilarious. There are times when I watch some of your videos and some of the other Australian videos, and I do have a hard time understanding. Even though you speak English just like we do, you know, the sense of humor is different. And sometimes I have to watch it 3 or 4 times before I'm feeling kind of dumb here, before I can really understand what you guys are talking about. But it's hilarious. You guys, I love you guys. Both my kids look amazing. You know what, JG? They are amazing. My daughter, Nikki, is 30. We got her when she was 6 years old. We had wanted a baby girl because we had a lot of boys. And babies, you can have a hand in setting their foundation. Whereas if you get an older child, it's a crapshoot. And I hate to say that. I feel like a horrible person for saying that. But it's true. We got Nikki when she was 6 years old. She has fetal alcohol syndrome, but you would never know. She works with my husband as a carpenter. She just got her motorcycle, and she is one of the most kind, generous, honest people around, with a smile and a laugh that would just blow you away. My son, Michael, is the same way. He's a little more reserved, but he has a great dry sense of humor. And he has more of a conscience than anyone I've ever met. He just, a package came in from Amazon, and, I don't want to get off on a whole trail about my kids, but a package came in from Amazon the other day, and it was really heavy. And I said, Michael, what is that? And he said, I bought these heat packs to give out, and they last 18 hours, and I keep them in my car for the homeless when I come and I see them. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a focus on those two kids. Hey, if 1/4 of our kids are doing okay, that's a score. Steve, you and Brian should hook up on Facebook or something. You guys have a lot in common. Martin, sarcasm is a way of life around here. But you guys, it's different. Where's your wife from? Often have to explain the joke. It just ain't as funny when you have to do that. That's true. My dad was very Greg, I'm not really sure what you're saying. It's been held. I'm going to show it because I'm really not sure what you mean. North Carolina, we have family there. North Carolina, South Carolina. Actually, my dad and Steve's dad are brothers, and their family is from North Carolina, South Carolina. Oh, in Florida. I love Florida. I love Florida. Hate messages for commenting hate when people have a kink in their. Yeah, Brian, I'll send you Steve's link. Actually, I'll do that right now. I have to thank you guys. I had no idea if anyone was even going to show up for this. And truthfully, I was just sitting down there bored to death. We don't have TV. We don't have cable. Nothing's going on. I don't want to do anything. So I thought I'll just try it out. All right, let me find Steve. And I will send him to Brian. You guys have a lot in common. And Brian and Steve, I wouldn't do this if either one of you were freaks. But you guys are awesome. There you go. Martin, that's funny. That's freaking funny. We even joke about that. We'll get in some places here, and it's like, do you hear a banjo? If you hear a banjo, get out. JG, thank you. you know, everyone's selling out these days. And I really feel, first of all, when you get someone from Germany to run, you know, he bailed out a tennis shoe company and now he's running Harley Davidson and he's trying to sell it to millennials who don't even want a driver's license. There's a problem there. And they've forgotten their roots. And, you know, millennials aren't going to ride a motorcycle. But my kids will. The kids of the people that made Harley Davidson great, those kids will ride motorcycles. The ones that our country's trying to silence will ride motorcycles, Harleys. But I have to confess, I was looking at you're welcome, Brian, an Indian the other day, and I'm trying to convince the powers that be that I need a new motorcycle. It's not working. Oh, caps are fine. You know, yeah, thank you, JG. I really appreciate that. I got a lot of people that were throwing fits about it. And I had a lot of comments I had to hide. And I don't like to delete comments. Usually I try to diffuse them. And when I let them know that any interaction is great for my channel, usually they stop. But, you know, that's the PC culture coming in. And America wasn't built on PC values. And people don't realize that silencing us, forcing us to wear masks, things like that, you know, it's a slippery slope. Yeah, exactly, Brian. So, Brian, do you think they're going to come back? Because that's right. AMF, those were the crappiest motorcycles on the face of the planet. You have 5. What do you have, Amin? Steve, you need a motorcycle. Yeah, Steve, I agree. You know, Steve, I have met people on the internet that are my closest friends that I've never seen in real life because of a blog I had years ago. I met these people and they are closer to me than people I've met in person a lot of times. But you're right. Hatred, the anonymity allows people to get on there and feel like they can say whatever they want. This is what I find amusing. I do have some people out there that are either extremely envious or they have something out for me. And what I think this is funny, but it's also really sad. They'll get on one of my Facebook pages. I've got them blocked on everything, but they keep coming back. And they'll say something and then they'll block themselves again. So I can't reply. And then they'll say something and then they'll block themselves again. Now, does that say coward? To me, that just says coward all the way across the board. If you're going to say something, at least wait for an answer. Idiots. You've got a point, Steve. You know what? Our generation could take over the world with cursive and stick shift cars. They don't even teach cursive to kids in school anymore. Soft-tailed Deuce Road King, a XR1 1200 Sportster, Super Low Sportster, and a 48 Sportster. What do you think about your 48? Is it the new one? I don't know a lot about the 48s. Yes. Brian, yes. And unfortunately, my DNA runs through their blood. And that just sickens me that they act that way. Looking to get an Evo. Yeah, I know you did, Brian. I hope they come back. I hope people, this is just, it is, Steve. It is. My kids, I homeschooled 7 of my kids because I didn't like the way that being a political science and American history major, and I saw what my kids were being taught, I pulled them from school. And so 7 of them are homeschooled. My son with autism, I didn't homeschool him because one of us would be dead in the backyard right now. But when they came out of school and I asked them to sign something, I needed their signature. They had no idea what I was speaking of. So now they have signatures, but none of them, before I pulled them from school, had handwriting lessons, had cursive lessons, nothing. No grammar. They don't teach grammar here, which drives me out of my flipping mind. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, I will. Oh, okay, Thomas, I will for sure. Kevin? Really? That's crazy. It's a lost art. My son came home, and most of my kids are of mixed ethnicity, but we call them Americans. They call themselves Americans. My son came home one day. It was probably in 3rd grade. And he was Michael, one that was always happy and just a cool kid. And when he walked through the door, he looked at me and he stared me down. I said, "What's wrong, Michael? Did you have a hard day?" And he said, "I just found out what your people did to my people." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let's sit down and have a little talk. Do you know why Liberia was founded? Did they talk to you about Egyptian slavery, indentured servitude, Irish slavery, Chinese slavery, any of this other?" I went into it all. And he just looked at me like, they didn't tell him anything, nothing. And then talk about slavery, North Korea. You guys need to check this chick out. Just look, female North Korean defector. Whoa, that's some scary stuff. And that's the way America's headed if we don't stop it. Brian, and that's exactly what I've done. That's exactly what I've done. It is, Brian. It is one of the easiest way to force us to lose history and our past. So many of those documents are written in the most beautiful cursive there is. And if you don't know cursive, you're pretty much lost. You're going to believe, people believe what they're told. They believe what they read on Facebook. If somebody says whatever, people are going to believe it. And that's what's really sad, is we've gotten into this state of not being able to think for ourselves. We have to be told, because we can't figure it out ourselves. That's where Michael and Nikki, I'm so proud of them. They hear something, they research it immediately. And they don't just research Wikipedia. They go to reputable sites and they're like, "Mom, this is not true." That's right. JG, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, Brian, a lot of people don't know that Libya does that. And they have no idea that when we sent the freed slaves back to Liberia, the first thing that they did was to start slavery. Okay, Steve, I'll call you as soon as I'm done with this. Thanks for joining in. I'm glad you're getting better. It's been great talking to you, Steve. And like I said, I'll talk to you when I'm finished with this. Oh, you like that? That was taken a couple of years ago before a Christmas party. Thank you. Hey, bipolar roller. How are you? Thank you for the comment on my videos. Do you know me from back when? Or is this because I know I still have a lot of mental health videos on my channel until I split my channels. I haven't even put anything on my new channel yet. This one's going to pretty much stay bikes and adventure and vlogging and moto vlogging and all of that. America's history in the making, rock and roll, blues, and all the good stuff is there. I couldn't have said it better myself. I'd change one word. I would put was in there. I don't know. Some pretty good rock and roll came from England, though. You guys have just made my day. You've really changed my attitude. Okay, Thomas, I'll see you later. Just like ride with the three of me. Ahmed, thank you. You're remembering what we want it to be once again. And hopefully it hasn't been AC/DC came from, yeah. Okay, you guys tell me this. Why does everything, this just has nothing to do with that, but it reminded me. Why does everything Ozzy Osbourne says, or when he speaks, have to be captioned, but when he sings, you understand every word? That dude's as funny as heck. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, Greg, I agree. They hid that, but I showed it. You know, they do. They're suffering from something. And it's hateful people that are just out there to be hateful. They can do whatever they want to do. But people that do it and you see that there's something behind that really, it gets to me. It gets to the human part of me. And it's hard. Ozzy comes to life on stage. You know, he really does. Have you watched Ozzy and Jack's World Adventure? That show is hilarious. And it really, my mother got me watching the Osbournes. My mother, who was born in 1941, got me, she's, Terry, you need to watch the Osbournes. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Mom? What do you know about Ozzy Osbourne? And I love Ozzy. I just love him. And they recently, it's not recently, but they had the show where he allegedly peed on the Alamo and was banned from Texas and all of this stuff. That was a good show. JG, I bet that was amazing. Hi, Nick. I'm doing okay. You know, I'm glad I decided to do this live chat because it really has made a huge difference in the way my mood was going. And it's really lifted me up. Thank you for asking. I really appreciate that. Van Halen was a support band. Wow. I used to be so in love with what's his name? David Lee Roth. When I was, you know, when MTV was first starting out, I love David Lee Roth. And Eddie just dying, that was sad. That was sad. Nick, what kind of motorcycle do I have? Right now, my mechanic has told me I have the holy grail of Harleys for the year. I have an 06 Heritage Softail custom. If you look through my videos, you're going to see the pictures of it. It's white and pink. I had my prints put on it. It was totaled a few months after I got it. A woman hit me from behind as I was stopped in traffic, totaled my bike. I didn't walk for 6 months. And I've been looking at new bikes. I went in to go get a 2020 Road King Special before I started. I hadn't even heard about $1 Million Bogan or the controversy surrounding Harley. And after I watched that, I thought, no, I'm not going to get another Harley. Not now. I'll wait. There's, I think it's the Dark Horse Chief from Indian that I've been looking at. But I really don't think that's going to happen because someone's telling me no. But really, it's a write-off, right? Because this channel is business. And if I get a new motorcycle for business, it's a write-off. There you go. Might work. Greg, he's pretty funny. He's pretty funny. And yes, Nick, I do. That's one of the things after I was hit, my dad made sure that I had a very well-heard Vance and Hines exhaust system put on my bike. Yeah, it's loud. It's very loud. You met Ozzy Greg met Ozzy in the early 90s, and what a blast backstage. You know, it's funny because he did say that he is the poster boy of why you shouldn't do drugs. I love him. Bogan is funny. And I understood a lot more once he revealed the stuff about mental illness. A lot more of his stuff made sense to me. Oh, really, Jay-Z? That's crazy. Yeah, he is hilarious. Brian, Triumph, Triple 3. Check it out. Bet you'd be surprised. You think? Where are the controls? Are they mid controls? Or do they have forward controls? Or can they be changed? That's how much I know about a Triumph. I have to have forward controls. Really, Kevin? I didn't know that. That's an interesting fact. That movie they made about him was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Really, Greg? You know, they only have a couple of Indian dealerships around here. And I've been looking. I don't want a fairing. And I think that the Scout is too small for me. And so I think it's called the Chief, the Dark Horse Chief. That's the one I think I want. Oh, Martin, is that what you have? Do you have any videos on it? They have both 2500cc 3-cylinder. Greg's got the Indian Roadmaster. Greg, I don't know why they hid that comment, but I'm going to open it up because that's stupid. I'm going to look at it because I have always wanted an Indian. I've wanted an Indian since I was a little kid. I just think they look amazing. The new 116 is badass. Dark Horse is beautiful. Well, thank you very much, JPN. I want to ride one so badly. You know what? That's what my mechanic said. He said if he only had to work on Indians, he would be broke. His shop is filled with the late model Harley Davidsons. He said they're crap. I'm not going to say his name because, but Brian knows who he is. I don't know if I saw the Challenger, Brian, but I may have, and it's just slipped through. It's good to have an HG and an Indian, both American legends. Yeah, you know, the Indian is one thing that kind of gives me hope about Harley. Maybe, you know, Indian made that comeback. It would just be really sad to see Harley go under and cater to these lollipop kids. You wanted, Outback wanted the Springfield, but they didn't have any. So you went with the Chief. You love it. I think that's the one I saw. It doesn't have a fairing, right? I'm getting their names all mixed up. Yeah, I don't want a fairing. I'm not really sure why. Let me look that up here. Indian. But really, I need a new car before I get another motorcycle. Indian dealership near me. Oh, Jay-Z. I'm sorry, JG. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Martin, I don't like fairings either. The new models. But they're only showing me what they have in Vancouver. That's not going to work. See, we don't have many Indian dealerships around here. Brian, do you know of any? I agree, Kevin. Quick detach windshield and the 3-light system like a Road King. I'd like that a lot. You know, I'm thinking Harley needs to talk to a bunch of bikers to see how to market their product. You get this German dude in. I don't know if he's German or if he was born here or what, but he looks like a millennial to me. I don't know how old he is. I can't find a stupid Indian lineup. "300 kilometers away." Yeah, you know, that is a problem because, you know, the Harley dealership, if you have a problem, one thing that they are good at is if you're on the road, they will get you in and out. At least the dealership here with where I am, the one that I prefer, they do get you in and out. Indian motorcycle. Brian, have you seen Willie G yet? Or lately? He's gone. I don't know if he's always been this way or not, but he seems to really be enjoying his entire retirement and has gone all artistic. But I wish he was back because, you know, I think being part of the founding family, he knew what they wanted and what needed to be done. And it was amazing that they bought that back from AMF. I can't even believe they sold it to AMF. It's just absolutely stupid. The Challenger Dark Horse, that one, yeah, that's got a fairing. It's $27,000. They have a Chief. Yeah, the Chief is the one I want. Why am I looking at the website? Yeah, it's a Chief. That's what I want. I want the Dark Horse Chief. I want all the blacked out, like, cool stuff. I'm tired of polishing chrome. Greg, you're right. We need to get like a collective group, ride down and have a talk with him and tell him he needs to, my packages from Amazon. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I didn't really care for it. And then my daughter bought her 883 iron. Her little bike is so cool. It is so, so cool. But polishing chrome and all of that, it looks good, but I really don't want to be polishing chrome anymore. And, this sounds kind of weird, but I would kind of like to have a bike that I can go incognito with, because I can ride, 3,000-4,000 miles from here and people know who I am because of my motorcycle. And I'd like one, which that's cool, but there are some people that are stalker-ish. So I'd like a bike that's more incognito. I did have someone recognize me from Instagram the other day. I thought that was really weird. A Chieftain Dark Horse. That has the fairing, right? The Chieftain? You worked with them after AMF, Brian? Does she like? What does she like about the fairing? I know, Brian, they do. And I like George. George and I have a really good relationship. And I know George has had Triumphs in there. I think he must be an independent dealer because Harley wouldn't allow that. There were some problems there for a while. But George really likes Triumphs. That it keeps the bugs and the rain off her chest. Yes, that would come in great for that. I just, here in this area, and I don't mean to offend anyone, this is just my own personal view, and maybe it had a little bit to do with my dad. I associate fairings with old men, and that's totally wrong on my part. But my dad had a fairing, and he wasn't old when he died. He was just 69. But I don't know. I like the idea of not having a fairing. Oh, Ahmed, that's fine. The Rocket 3. So they have forward controls. I haven't even looked because I've been a Harley girl forever. But there's no way I can get Greg. That's true. That's true. I hadn't even thought of looking at other bikes, Brian. I did try Street Vibes one year, a BMW, and I couldn't ride it because of the problem with my knee and where the controls were located. Otherwise, I might have considered getting that just for an adventure bike, but I couldn't ride it every day. The Rocket 3. I wonder if Latest has any in stock. How big is that in compared to my bike? Is it going to be big enough for me? Man, you guys are really making me want a new motorcycle. But I need a new car. Motorcycle car, 2,500 cc. Have you been to Latest lately? I wonder if they have any in stock. And why did they sell? Do you know why they changed the name to Portland Harley Davidson instead of Team Latest or Latest Harley Davidson? Did George sell out? Motorcycle more fun. You're right. Here's my thinking on the new car. First of all, my Cadillac sucks. Not because of the car. I love it. But the dealerships around here, no. So I'm going back to Mercedes, and I want to get one that I can tow my bikes with me. Hey, Raccoon Man 60, how are ya? You haven't been there in a couple of years. Let me pull them up here. Raccoon Man, what do you think? Triumph, Indian, or no, we don't want to do another Harley until they get their shit straight, right? Life is short. Buy the motorcycle. And you know what? Life is short. Eat the cupcake, masked woman. Oh, I could have slapped her. And, you know, I've reined my temper in quite a bit. I think so anyway, Brian. Indian. Okay. So that's what Martin's saying. Everyone's telling me Indian. How about an Indian and a Triumph? I need to make sure that I can ride cross country on it. Norton is back in business too. Really? You know, I think I heard rumors about that. You would, Martin. That's scary. I was in Canada with one of my friends who is Canadian, and he got us lost out in the freaking forest, and there was nothing but a gravel road, and I had never ridden on gravel before. I won't even go across a graded bridge. Okay, I'm going to ruin my image as a biker here, but they scare me. He got us lost in Canada on this gravel road, and I didn't want to, you know, he thought he looked like he was riding okay, so I'm thinking I can ride too. We got so lost. It took us hours to get out of that damn forest. So Raccoon Man, you have the very same opinion as everyone else. I was going to buy. I mean, they had me through the door until I saw $1 Million Bogan, and I didn't even know about the controversy at that point. So Brian, what is that Rocket 3? Okay, Brian, here it is. Where am I going to put my stuff, Brian? There's no bags on that. A great bike for cross country. It looks like it. And that's what I want to do. You know, I need to get out of here. You know, I need to have some space. I love the look of the Triumphs. I love the look of Triumphs. Raccoon Man, I tell you what, I keep reading your comment because I am so with you. I can't ride a BMW because of where the controls are, and I have with my knees. I don't know, maybe they have forward controls now. But because of my knees, I can't use mid controls. Are they hard bags, Brian? It looks like they would have to be. Duh. Terry, don't be such an idiot. People are listening to you. Okay, I love you guys. You're giving me ideas. I love it. See, this is what I was meant to do, and people don't understand. I was meant to interact with people, not be locked away in a freaking house. I'm going to cry. Jay-Z, I keep calling you Jay-Z. Oh my gosh, he's such a devil worshiper, and you're not. Jay-Z, where are, you say BMW R18? It's the controls. I'm wondering where the controls are. Because if they're mid controls, which it looks like they are, I can't write it. Boy, but that's a really good looking bike. Tank range not good on a rocket. 3.4 liters. What does that come out to in gallons? But that does seem kind of small. Yeah, that's Raccoon Man. That's my concern too, because there are only 3 Indian dealerships. It looks like in a 300-mile radius from where I live. And a Harley dealership, you can get service anywhere. 2.5 liter. That really puts it in perspective for somebody that's not on the metric system, because that's like a big bottle of Coke. Mitchell, after your heart attack, I'm so sorry. I hope you're doing okay. I have problems getting my bike over my bike. Oh, forgive me. My leg over my bike sometimes. BMW R18 goes back to the early BMW vintage style. Yeah, I've got it pulled up here. I like the look of it. It says it's not a bike for noobs. Hey, that'd be great. Although it doesn't seem I can ride my husband's motorcycle, if y'all saw that video when I took it down. But in my defense, there were a lot of things working against me that day. The engine of a Mustang 5.0. Now, guys, I have raised kids for freaking ever. And so really, I only know Harleys because Harley dealerships are everywhere. So that's one thing. You guys have brought up a lot of good points. How likely am I to find a Triumph, a BMW, or an Indian dealership if I went with one of these? Raccoon Man, my dad had a Honda Goldwing. Oh my gosh. And Honda makes, I think, some of the best colors. My dad's Goldwing, I was amazed at everything it had on it. It was just crazy. He ended up selling his last airplane and he had it made into a trike. You know, Brian, that's exactly it. And if there's, you know, of other factors that played into that, I'm pretty sure. Especially if you watch that video. Get what you need, not what you want now. That's very good advice. Google dealers. Yeah, I've got it right here on my laptop. I'm Googling as I'm talking to you guys. Now, I was an ambassador for several years at an event here in Oregon called Hell's Canyon, and then at Pendleton Bike Week. And I completely forgot where I was going with that. Oh, I rode out with the founders, and they were on BMWs. those guys, they blew me away. They were gone. And I was getting pissed because I'm thinking, I don't know where you're going. You're taking me the back way. I'm in a Harley and you guys are way ahead of me. You can't leave me here. I'm going to die. But they waited for me. They said we would get until we couldn't hear your pipes and we would stop. Okay. A Yamaha Venture. Oh, did you, Brian? You know, Sean, I read that the other day. That is one of their original slogans. Brian, that is a hard one. That's a hard, no matter which way you're coming out of it, it is a difficult interchange, and the grade of the road, you really can't see it that well. When I got my Heritage, I had the Sporty, but when I got the Heritage, I had my salesman take my bike out of that parking lot. You know how that parking lot is? It sucks. And I said, point it in the way I need to go. And once I got onto my Heritage, it scared me at first. I thought, why did I not do this before? I love this motorcycle. It was amazing. It was like going from a Yugo to a Mercedes. I bet so there, Brian. But Brian, every one of them had done the same thing, right? Check out the Yamaha Venture. JG, am I subscribed to your channel? Are you subscribed to mine? If you are, leave me a message and I can subscribe. Yamaha Venture. And I am a little concerned because I'm considering moving out of the country. And I don't know what the roads are like all over there. I need something that's going to keep me, that I can ride. The Star Venture or just the regular? You have no? Okay. Okay, they're showing a Star Venture. Is that the one you're speaking of? G? Sorry, I keep calling you Jay-Z. I know he's kind of a freak. I don't mean to. Yeah, that's right, Brian. That's right. Did I know you when that lady totaled my bike? I can't remember how long I've known you. I've known you for like ever, it seems. Oh, that's the new model? And it has a fairing on it. Okay. The new model, same thing. Okay. They have 2020 and 2018 on their, did they not make bikes in 2019? Whoa, they've got a good deal on that Yamaha. 0% APR or $2,500 cash back. Thank you for the suggestion, JG. I appreciate that. What I would love is just to have a motorcycle filled with, a garage filled with motorcycles. I'd love it. When I was a kid, our garages were always filled with airplanes. I would like mine filled with motorcycles. And the funny thing is, I never knew I was going to like riding a motorcycle as much as I do until I bought my husband his. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And this is another dumb Harley person question. Well, I guess there are a lot. How hard is it to find a dealership if something happens? But I guess on a Yamaha, nothing's really going to happen, right? Okay, I've got 2 Yamaha dealers near me. The vintage HD Evos. Fill the garage for the price of one 2020 touring bike. That's a good idea, Brian. But I can't work on them. Could you? I'm going to take you to meet Dean. You've got to meet Dean. He is so cool. You will love him. We need to plan that one day. When you're not doing anything, come by the house and I'll take you out to meet Dean. I think you might have been when she took me down. I mean, my gosh, it was so weird. It was so strange sitting there in traffic thinking, and everything was in slow motion, but it happened within just seconds. But it made me a better writer. I don't want her to know that. I want her to think she killed me every day of her life, but it made me a better writer. Okay, let's do it. Let me know when, message me. Let me know when you've got time and I will give Dean a call and we'll go out and see him. What I like about him, he is an honest mechanic. He's knowledgeable. He doesn't rush you in or out. Harley Davidson, the service department, for about 5 or 6 years, they couldn't figure out what was going on with my bike. I would get up on the highway to about 50 miles an hour and the bike would just die. And being a woman, every man or technician that I met said, "You're hitting the kill switch." No, dumbass, I'm not hitting the kill switch. I know what I'm doing. And it turned out that it was in the ignition module. And Dean was the one that ran it and found that out for me. But that's the only problem I've ever had with this Harley. That's right. Yeah. So you did know me. My bike wasn't customized then. That was a scary ride, Brian. That was a scary ride. There were some slippery spots on that road. For you guys that don't know, Brian founded a memorial ride for Mount St. Helens, the Mount St. Helens eruption in Washington. And I met him. I guess that's where I did meet you face to face. I probably met you on Bond. Exactly. I know that kind of scares me, being around that many people that I don't know how they ride. And I think it's just because having to ride with the people from Sunset Hog and a poker run, they scared me a lot. Exactly. Biker or not. Yep. I don't even know if they're still around. That was kind of a sketchy place there towards the end. They are. They're just techs. They're not in parts. They don't diagnose anything. They're kind of like Cadillac. They don't diagnose anything. That's true. That is so true. You guys, I am going to have to run. We've been on here 2 hours. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. You know, when I tell you in my videos that you really make my day, you do. Like I said, I'm stuck here alone all day, and to be able to interact with people that are like-minded and have the same sort of a sense of humor most of the time, and we like the same things, you guys brighten my day. You really are able to change. You know, we just passed the 16th mark of my grandson's death, and I think that's why I've been a little bit down. But you guys helped me so much more than you even know. And I really appreciate it. So, Brian, you let me know. I'm going to let you call this Saturday. What time for a live stream? JD, it is. You know, it's an instant bond when you meet another biker. My daughter was out on her first group ride, and she's a little bitty thing. She's 5'3", and what time is it? 3:30. Okay, she's 5'3". She was on her first group ride, and there were a lot of people there, and so she stayed back towards the back, and the Mongols came by, and she could see them in her mirrors, and she was like freaking out. And she pulled over to the side. She's letting everyone go by. And then she sees one of the Mongols. She knows that he's going to stop by her. And she said she's trying to remember where her knife was. She was trying to remember where her gun was. She was like, how am I going to live? He's going to kill me. And he just came up behind her and he said, are you okay? Do you need help? And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. People want to help. Bikers are, in my opinion, bikers have the most genuine community I've ever met. Yeah, there's parts of the community I need to stay away from, but all in all, bikers have the most genuine community and the most caring community I have ever met. Okay, Brian, you got it. 1 p.m. Saturday, we'll do a live stream. Ask me anything. But my husband will probably be in here, so be careful what you ask. Checking a fellow rider, MCs aren't evil. You know, they're not. There have been so many instances where I've been approached by someone in an MC. I have a lot of good friends in MCs. But your head gets filled with these things, and they just want to make sure you're okay for the most part. And then you get in situations when you're riding with some egomaniac and an MC goes to pass you and they want to chase him down. And you're going to get everyone killed when you do something like that. 2332 in England. Love the live stream and chat. You know, I did too. Thank you guys. I was having a hard time today. I was really having a hard time. And I really appreciate you guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I appreciate it. You guys so rock. So I will see you guys Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, thank you. You guys are so great. I don't want to change, Ahmed, my Softail. I want to keep the Softail. But it's so custom that I have problems when I want to get away. People know who I am because of my past and the things I've been involved with bike events. And there are times I just like to ride and kind of blend in, which is hard to do when you're 6 feet tall and blonde covered in tattoos. I don't need a white and pink bike helping me along the way. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to sign off now. It's 3:30 here. I've got a couple of things I need to do. You guys are amazing. And hopefully I will see you guys here back Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in America. So now I need to figure out how I get out of here. What did I forget? Go check out the Triumph Honda. You know, Brian, that would be fun to do with you, just to hang out and go check out bikes. Keep it in mind. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that would be fun, because I'd like to talk to you. I know you're going through a tough time as well. And, you know, I really enjoy your friendship. You rock too, Jay. Okay, I need to call you something else, because I keep calling you that demonic Jay-Z dude. Have a great night yourself. You guys, I'll see you back here Saturday. I'm going to go. I hear my German Shepherd down there. That means she's into trouble. You guys have made my day. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later. Okay, Brian, sounds good. Bye, guys. Peace out.